What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm going to be predicting the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series playoff grid and telling you which drivers that will get eliminated each round, and then tell you who will get through each round as well. So let's go and just jump straight to it. In round of 16, we'll start off with that. In the round of 16, we will be racing at Darlington, then we'll be racing at Richmond, and then we'll be racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. So let's go through each round and tell you the first four that are eliminated. In the round of 16, who gets eliminated? The first driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 16, I believe, is going to be Michael Mcdowell. Michael McDowell has been kind of hit or miss throughout this year. In the beginning of the year, this 34 team showed that they had a lot of speed, and throughout, mainly up until about 10 weeks ago, this team remained in the regular top 16 in the points. But really, over the last 10 weeks, this team has kind of fallen off, and they unfortunately had an engine failure this past weekend at Daytona International Speedway. And looking at the tracks we're going to in the round of 16, they have not really shown a lot of speed in any of those races, and they're going to be down below the grid, so I don't think Michael McDowell is going to have a shot of being very competitive. I think he's going to be the first one that is going to get eliminated in the round of 16. The second driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 16, I think is going to be driver of the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, Aric Almirola. Aric Almirola really most this year has kind of struggled. Now, over the last 5 or 6 weeks, really since around we got to the summer and Road America, I do think Aric Almirola has performed a lot better. And he has historically been good at Richmond International Speedway. And at points as well, he's had some speed at Bristol International Speedway as well. Unfortunately, I think that Aric Almirola is not going to have enough speed, especially with some of the tracks in that round. I think Darlington, he really wasn't that good. I think his best opportunity run well is going to be at Richmond, but I don't think he's overall going to have the pace, and I don't think he's going to have the speed to be really, really competitive. And he's going to be starting low, so I don't think that he'll have a chance to get through the round of 16 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. The third driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 16 is going to be Tyler Reddick. Now, Tyler Reddick, over the last 21 weeks, has been really, really solid. He's only had like 1 or 2 finishes outside of top 20. I think those came this past week here at Daytona and Michigan after having a tire go down late in Michigan and then having issues and Craig getting into a couple accidents at Daytona this past week. Tyler Reddick, I think, has a good shot at making it through the first round, but sadly, I don't think he's going to, and it's because he had the lack of playoff points. I believe Tyler Reddick is going into the playoffs with only 3 points, and he really hasn't been that good at Richmond. He's been good at Darlington, which I think will be his best shot if he is able to make a pass around to 16. I think will be his best shot to make it, but I think that Darlington's the only race he's going to run well. He's been hit or miss at Bristol historically, and he's not been really good at Richmond. So I think that Tyler Reddick, unfortunately, will not make it through the round of 16, unfortunately. I just think a lack of playoff points, and I think RCR points has shown a little bit of weakness. I don't think that Tyler Reddick makes it through the first round of playoffs. And the final driver that I think is not going to make the first round of playoffs, this one is going to be a little bit shocking considering they have been heating up over the last 5 or 6 weeks, but they've gotten involved in a few wrecks, and really the lack of playoff points I think is going to affect them. The last driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 16 is going to be Christopher Bell. Now, if you look at the tracks that we're going to, that is Darlington. He got a top 10 there. We're going to Richmond, where he got a top 5, and we're going to Bristol, where he's been pretty solid. Why am I picking Christopher Bell to struggle? Well, unfortunately, it's due to the lack of playoff points. Christopher Bell, right now, going into the playoffs, I believe only has 5 playoff points. He only has 5, and that scores from the win at the Daytona road course. Now, if we had a road course in the round of 16, I think it absolutely would make it through the first round. But because there is no road course in the round of 16, I don't think that Christopher Bell is going to get through the first round of the NASCAR Cup Series Plus. Like I said, I just don't think he's overall going to have the speed and have the pace to make it through the round of 16. I mean, I think he'll have 1 or 2 good finishes in the first round. I think after that, he'll show a lot of speed, but also, I don't trust this 20 car either. This 20 car doesn't matter who's been in it. I mean, look back at Erik Jones the last couple of years. In 2018, he didn't get through the first round. 2019, he didn't get through the first round. Even last year, did not make the playoffs. I think Bell is going to struggle in the first round, and I think he's going to get eliminated in the first round of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Let's now move on to the round of 12, shall we? Now, the 3 races that are going to be contested in the round of 12 are going to be Las Vegas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval. So let's start off with it. Who are the next 4 that are getting eliminated? The first driver that I think is going to be eliminated in the round of 12, I think is going to be Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick this year has, while SHR has really struggled, he has been the best driver at Stewart-Haas Racing. But even for his standards, he's absolutely struggling. Now, he's currently, I believe, sitting right inside the top 10 of points. He does have some playoff points coming into it, but I just don't think Kevin Harvick is overall going to have the speed. I do think Kevin Harvick will make it to the round of 16. Kevin Harvick is pretty good historically at Darlington, and he's won there a couple times, won 2 of the 3 races last year, and was really good at Darlington earlier this year. Has been solid at Richmond in the past, and Bristol, he's been decent there as well, and won there last year as well. I think Kevin Harvick gets to the round of 16. But the round of 12, you look at the races that are in the round of 12. Vegas is the only one I see Kevin Harvick having in any sort of speed throughout it. I think that the Charlotte Roval, I think Harvick's going to struggle. Harvick has not been that great on road courses this year, especially Indy, and also was pretty decent at Watkins but really didn't run that great. And also looking at the race for Talladega, even though he's been points good at the track, he's really had a lot of trouble there. I think Kevin Harvick will be the first driver that will get eliminated in the round of 12. I just don't think overall SHR is going to have the pace. The second driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 12, unfortunately, is going to be Kirk Bush. I think Kirk Bush has been really showing his muscle over the last 10 to 12 weeks. He recently just announced that he was going to be going to 2311 Racing for the 2020 season. It is a multi-year deal, by the way. But I think Kirk Bush, I'm just worried about the lack of playoff points Kirk Bush has. Yes, I think he has 8 or 9 playoff points. He does have a few stage wins. Got one win in Nashville after Chase Elliott got DNQ'd there. I think Kirk Bush will have some speed, and I think the one car will have overall pace. I think his best opportunity to win is going to come at Las Vegas. He won there last year, but I just don't think the overall speed is going to help him, and I don't think he'll make it through the round of 12. He's the second one I think that's going to get eliminated. The third driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 12, I believe, is going to be Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski this year really has been down in a lot of stats. Yes, he does have a win at Talladega Superspeedway, and I think that's the only track he has a good shot if he is able to make it through the round of 12. I think it's the only chance he has of making it through the round of 12. That being said, though, Brad Keselowski this year has been way off, especially at a lot of tracks. Look at Darlington around a 16. He's not very good there. He hasn't had as much speed as I've seen in the past. Yes, he's been a little bit better over the last 5 or 6 weeks. He does level with momentum, but he has overall been a lot more inconsistent than I expected him to be in the round of 16. So I think that Brad Keselowski is unfortunately going to get eliminated in the round of 12, and I think that he'll struggle to make it through the second round. I think it's eliminated. The only chance I think he has is to win Talladega, but if he doesn't win there, I think his chances go out the window. He's not been good at the Charlotte Roval, and he's been hit or miss in his career at Las Vegas. Even though he got second last time we were in Vegas, he's been hit or miss at that track. And the final driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 12 is going to be Ryan Blaney. Now, Ryan Blaney originally, up until Michigan, I had him getting eliminated in the round of 16 because Ryan Blaney has absolutely struggled at all 3 of the tracks in the round of 16. He's been bad at Richmond, he's been bad at Darlington in the past, and he has been bad at points at Bristol as well as had a lot of bad luck over there. But I think this time he will at least get through the round of 16, especially after winning here the last 2 weeks at Michigan and Daytona. The playoff points racking up. He's coming in as a number 2 seed. I think that he is going to have a little bit of pace, and he has had quite a bit of pace while here. He's been overall the best driver at Team Penske so far this year. That being said, like I said, he is really good at the 3 tracks you're going to in the round of 12. I just think that they're not overall going to have really good speed when we go to Vegas. I think they're going to struggle over there. I know Penske's shown speed at Vegas in the past, even this year, but I don't think they're going to have the overall pace at Vegas, and I think they're going to get far behind. Now, Talladega and the Charlotte Roval, like I said, could be potential breeding grounds for him. And I think of the drivers in a round of 12 that can make it to the next round, I think is Ryan Blaney. But I'm just worried that Ryan Blaney is going to be too inconsistent, and I don't think he is going to make it through the round of 12. I think he'll be the last driver, and I think he's barely going to miss the round of 8, but I think he'll be the final driver to get eliminated in the round of 12. So now let's go ahead and jump onto the round of 8 contenders and talk about which drivers I think are going to get eliminated in the round of 8. The 3 races that are going to be taking place in the round of 8 will be going to Kansas, we'll be going to Texas, and we will be going to Martinsville for the final race before the Championship 4. Let's talk about the next 4 that are going to get eliminated. Now, the top 8 right now, I think any of these drivers could make the final 4 going into 2021. But I have narrowed down in reasons why I think that these drivers are going to make it. Let's first start. The first driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 8, I think is going to be Alex Bowman. Well, Alex Bowman does have 3 wins this year, those coming at Dover, Richmond, and Pocono. I think that Alex Bowman has not overall had the speed. Now, last year, they really started turning the corner, but they really were starting to turn the corner even a few weeks before we got to plus. This team has been about a 10th to 15th place team a lot of weeks this year, but I do think that with the playoff points they do have, and I think the Hendrick will bring some more power to that 48 car, I think that Alex Bowman is going to perform a lot better starting in the playoffs, and I think he'll potentially have some chances to run up front and contend there. But I just don't think Alex Bowman is going to overall have a lot of speed to make it to the championship 4. The second driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 12 is going to be Joey Logano. Joey Logano's same position has kind of had a lack of speed a lot of this year, especially with his Team Penske teammates. I think Joey Logano, like I said, he does have a win at Bristol Dirt. And look back last year at Kansas. He got a very lucky win at Kansas. Of course, Dirty Air definitely helped him get that victory, but he did win at Kansas. And he has shown some speed in some of the other races in the playoffs where he could get some playoff points. But I just don't think Joey Logano overall has the overall pace to go out there and make it to the championship 4. I don't think he'll make it to the round of the championship 4 in 2021. I think he for sure is going to get eliminated in the round of 8 and get eliminated and not run for the championship. I just don't see him overall having the pace and overall having enough of that speed to go out there and contend and go out and try to run for a victory in his championship. I don't think, unlike last year, he got lucky. I don't think his luck is going to come around this time this year. The third driver that I think is going to get eliminated, this one is going to be really, really shocking. But I think that Denny Hamlin is going to fail to make the championship 4. Yes, the guy who currently sits second in the regular season points, he would definitely be in the final 4 if you're going by regular season points. Denny Hamlin is not going to be in there. And the reasons I'm saying this is because Denny Hamlin seems to choke. It doesn't matter what year. Denny Hamlin seems to come up short in most years when it comes to trying to run for a championship. Last year, he won 7 races that year. But he only won 1 race in the playoffs and absolutely struggled. Now, Denny Hamlin has been absolutely consistent, but the problem with Denny Hamlin is he has, I think, 16 or 17 playoff points. And he has quite a few playoff points, which could help Denny Hamlin. But if Denny Hamlin doesn't pick up a victory, and I don't think he will win a race, I think that's the reason he's not going to make it to the championship 4. Now, if he's able to win a race like a Talladega, I think he has a shot to make it. But I'll be honest with you, I think unless Denny Hamlin can get a win, I think he gets eliminated in the round of 8, sadly, unfortunately, because I don't think he's going to overall have the pace to enough, unfortunately, not going to be able to earn enough points against the top 4, especially, that are going to be there. I think that Denny Hamlin will get eliminated in the round of 8. And the final driver that I think is going to get eliminated in the round of 8, and this one's also going to be a little bit shocking as well, I think William Byron is going to get eliminated in the second to last round. William Byron has been absolutely consistent this year. He's been a mad machine. Ever since he and Rudy Fiegel teamed up for this year, he has been absolutely really, really fun to watch. The problem is William Byron does not have a ton of playoff points. I think he's coming into the playoffs, I think, with about 15 or 16 or 17 playoff points with his playoff points he was able to earn this year. And because he finished in the top 10, he's able to earn quite a few playoff points. But that being said, William Byron just does not have shown winning speed. He's had top 5 speed, but I think that if you're going to make it to the championship 4, you're going to have to show some winning speed, and he hasn't really done it, especially last 2 weeks where he's absolutely struggled. He could be the surprising threat to make it to the championship 4 of drivers that I have a championship 4 and are struggling not making it to it, but I just don't think William Byron overall is going to have the pace and overall is not going to have the speed. I think William Byron gets eliminated in the second to last round, unfortunately. And now we're going to go ahead and jump on to all the drivers that I think are going to make the championship 4. The first one that I absolutely believe makes the championship 4, I think is going to be Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, look, has been pretty inconsistent on the oval tracks, but if you look at his trajectory, he's been really good at road course tracks. And last year, he not only won at the Charlotte Roval, but he won at Martinsville last year. And you have to remember, he went to Martinsville last year and was able to win in the fall race. And earlier this year, he was actually able to go out there and almost beat Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. straight up in that race. So I think that Martinsville is a big reason why I think he makes it. Chase Elliott's also been really good at a lot of tracks. He's been showing a lot of speed, especially different types of tracks. Look really, really good tonight. I think Chase Elliott will be able to make it to the championship 4 when we come to the championship 4 at Phoenix, and we'll try to run and defend a championship. The second driver that I think is going to make the championship 4, I think, is going to be Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is probably the favorite to win the championship right now in many, many ways. Kyle Larson so far this year has 5 wins. He's also won the regular season championship, which he now currently has sitting with the 52 points. He's got a pretty big cushion. And you look at all the tracks that are in the NASCAR Cup Series Plus for Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is good at Las Vegas. He's been historically good at dogs and almost won that race. He's been good at Bristol historically on the half-mile track. He has a lot of tracks that are coming up. Now, I'm a little worried about Talladega and a little bit worried about Richmond because they were not really fast over there. But I think Kyle Larson is going to have a lot of speed. I think if Larson will get 1 or 2 wins during the playoffs, I think he for sure makes the championship 4, though, in that 5 car. The third driver that I think is going to make the championship 4 this year in the playoffs, I think is going to be Martin Trex Jr. Martin Trex Jr. absolutely has been a little bit hit or miss. He really started off this year with a bang with 3 victories in the first 11 or 12 races. But really ever since we got to December, really ever since Dover, this team has been extremely inconsistent. I think Martin Trex Jr.'s team have been experimenting a little bit because they are coming up to the playoffs. I think that they're wanting to be really, really fast in the playoffs, but I think their focus is trying to do really good in the playoffs this year, and trying to do well. I think that they'll show speed at Darlington, and they'll have a lot of pace at a lot of tracks we're coming up to. I am a little worried about Talladega for Martin Truex Jr. Truex has absolutely struggled on super speedways in the past. There's other tracks and plus I am a little bit worried about, but I think Martin Truex Jr., needless to say, will make the championship 4 this year. He currently sits, I think, 2nd or 3rd on the playoff points totals. I think that he will absolutely make the playoffs championship 4 this year. And the final driver that I think is going to make the championship 4, I think, is going to be Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch this year at the beginning of the year was really, really struggling. It seemed like we were going to be seeing a lingering effect from Kyle Busch from 2020 where he was going to struggle. But really, especially over the last 8 or 9 weeks, Kyle Busch has been really coming on strong. He currently sits 3rd in the regular season points, and he's almost won Atlanta, was able to win at Kansas and Pocono. Not only that, Kyle Busch has had a resurging year in 2021, and I think that this 18 team has a lot to prove and a lot to show coming into the playoffs. I think that this year we're going to see a lot out of Kyle Busch. There's a lot of tracks that Kyle Busch has historically been really, really good at throughout his NASCAR Cup Series career. So I think, look at Richmond. Richmond, he's been really good at that track historically among other tracks. And I think Kyle Busch is going to show a lot of speed in the NASCAR Cup Series Plus. I think Kyle Busch is going to be the final driver to make the championship 4. So now let's go ahead and just remind you the drivers that I think. So the round of 16, I think Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Christopher Bell, and Tyler Reddick get eliminated. The round of 12, I have Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Kirk Bush, Kevin Harvick. The round of 8, I have Alex Bowman, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Joey Legato. In the final round, I have Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Mark Truex Jr., and Chase Elliott making the championship 4. Now, I am going to tell you right now who my championship pick is going in there. I think the driver that is going to win the championship this year in 2021, I think is going to be Kyle Larson. This is Kyle Larson's year to win the championship. He's been historically really, really good in these playoffs. I think he's going to be able to make the NASCAR Cup Series Final 4, and I think that he will be able to pick up his first ever NASCAR Cup Series championship. I would not have been saying this at the beginning of the year, and I did not think this year that Kyle Larson was going to be the favorite, but I think in 2021, I think Kyle Larson is going to become your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. He's been good on 750 tracks. He's been good on 550 tracks. Been good at pretty much all-around tracks throughout the year. I think Kyle Larson is going to win the NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2021. So, anyway, those are my 2021 NASCAR playoff predictions. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel notifications on so you're notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as part page below. Link below for that, and comment your playoff predictions below. Let me know who you think gets eliminated in the round of 16. Let me know who you think gets eliminated in the round of 12. Let me know who gets eliminated in the round of 8. And let me know who you think will make the championship 4 in the 2021 season. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR content like this on the channel. Take care, everybody.